Hey everyone, welcome back to All the Mods 6, and this week we're doing probably my favorite factory mod to this day. And yes, you did hear me right. Mod. Singular. Uno. One. It's called Mechanism, and I love building factories. Tekkit Classic was my very first mod pack I ever played, and I used to watch the Yogscast and the Jaffa Factory series religiously. I still revisit it every so often. To be honest, I didn't even get as far as I'd like to with this, so there's probably going to be a part 2 to this video. But I do think we should build a factory area quickly, so let's get on that. Quick and easy, just like that. I really do enjoy putting those together, but we have more important things to do, like gather iron and osmium, a new ore that's used in just about everything in this mod, from circuits to machinery. Also grab some gold because God knows I'm going to need that later on. So the first order of business is energy production, which will start off by making a heat generator and a metallurgic infuser so we have access to better methods of energy harvesting. These are the base necessities of our factory in progress. Most vital components for later machines are made here or end up being finished here. This includes steel fabrication, which is made by enriching iron with coal to make enriched iron and then re-enriching the enriched iron with coal to make steel dust. And if that hurt your brain to hear, just know that I probably had to do multiple takes to read that out. Oh, and by the way, the heat generator consumes coal incredibly fast, so replacing it is our first order of business. And since I'm feeling like renewable resources, let's make a biogenerator. So first we make ourselves a crusher to make some biofuel, which I originally thought could be made with rotten flesh, but that might be exclusive to Sky Factory 4. No worries though, since I have some leftover sugarcane which can be crushed into a fairly decent amount of biofuel, so I end up using that to get both the fuel we need to craft the generator, along with kickstarting said generator. Next up, I make some more steel to make some cables so that we can power everything equally. I should say our goal for today was to get 8 times ore production, but for reasons that will be obvious later, I had to make a compromise. With crushing out of the way, let's get started on ore doubling by crafting an enrichment chamber. This turns ore into 2 dust clumps of the same type, doubling your ore output much like the Tinker's Smeltery. However, this can be scaled up and multiplied further as our next step is 3 times output. Oh, and before I forget, I also made an energized smelter so I have to waste less coal cooking up these powders. And speaking of important powders, redstone is something else you're going to be running out of a lot, as it's used for a lot of components and machines. Alright, now that we have more base components, we can make more stuff like this pump for pumping water into this electrolytic separator, which separates electrolytes. I don't fucking know. Feed it Gatorade and it makes gas. I also pushed a pillager into my water elevator. I just wanted to include that since I found it amusing. Now those gases need to be pumped into 2 separate machines, hydrogen to the gas burning generator and oxygen to our device that allows us to triple ore, the purification chamber. And at this point I took a short break to mentally recuperate because this next part was going to be mentally taxing. Now when I returned, I checked what materials I'd need to get 4 and 8 times ore production, which turned out to be way more expensive than I thought it'd be. I knew that this meant I either had to get mending, which I really didn't feel like doing, or get luckier on a new cobalt pickaxe. So obviously I chose the multiple 1,000 block adventure by Elytra just to get 3 rabbit's feet because, and get this, I checked how to obtain rabbit's feet, and to at least alleviate the process, they made it so cleavers increase the rate at which rabbits drop rabbit's feet. I still don't like the changes, by the way, but I refuse to quit this mod pack based on one mod alone, as I've already spent 18 hours playing it, and I just got to my favorite part of any mod pack. I may have also went to grab some cobalt from the nether in case, but I ended up getting distracted and finding this piglin tower, and as always, I never learned my lesson when standing near lava. Hey, and while I have you here, make sure to join the Schnoof Squad by hitting that subscribe button. And as always, be sure to like the video and comment too if you've enjoyed it so far. It really helps push my video into the algorithm, and even sharing it around helps. Anyways, I go and grab the rabbit's feet and mark a roguelike dungeon for later, return home, make a new cobalt pickaxe, upgrade it twice because I didn't check what I needed for the third upgrade, and say fuck it, it's good enough. With this pickaxe, I can finally commit multiple acts of first-degree homicide. I mean, we can now get more materials and not worry about our pickaxe breaking, as we can infinitely repair it. So, after all this work, what do we go and do? Well, I'll tell you one thing. We don't go and make 4 or 8 times ore production, that's for sure. No, instead I decide I'm going to spend an hour making upgrades so that our factory runs faster because I was tired of waiting for ore to go through the entire process. So, let's start with getting to know the recipes. First is the speed upgrade, which is 1 osmium dust, 2 enriched alloy, and 2 glass. You'll start to notice a theme with these. Then is the energy upgrade, which is the exact same as the speed upgrade, but gold dust in place of the osmium dust. Next is the gas upgrade, which is the exact same as both the other recipes, but lo and behold, you replace the dust again. This time with iron dust. Now, how many do we... fuck. Alright, we need to repeat this process 8 times per machine for the speed and energy upgrades, and get a total of 16 gas upgrades, clocking into a total of 2 fucking many materials. What, did you expect me to be good at math just because I can build efficient factories? There are some other upgrades I should go over in case you want to use them, specifically 3 more. The muffling upgrade is made with steel dust and mutes factory block noises, which I personally enjoy. The filter upgrade is only used with the electric pump and separates heavy water from water. It uses tin for its dust. Finally, the anchor upgrade, which keeps a machine's chunk loaded. Its recipe is disabled though by default in this mod pack, but if you're playing on your own mod pack, it takes 1 diamond dust to make. It really sucks that the anchor upgrade is disabled in the mod pack, since digital miners are really nice to have, but I understand due to, well, how amazingly this clearly runs. Oh, back to what I was doing. At this point, I was actually making graphite to start bigger reactors, which is an updated version of big reactors. You see, at this point, I was having a little energy crisis with all the upgrades and needed something that was going to provide more power long term, and a nuclear reactor is a pretty good option to say the least. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna be able to record this part, since as I write this, it's Sunday and I've got 12 hours before this video needs to go live. Not only that, but the script was so long at this point that I wasn't sure if I was going to need or have room to record this part. And on top of that, it took 4 hours to edit that previous speed build since I wanted to give it defined flow and rhythm. But as we have it now, these last 3 minutes will be dedicated to making this reactor. So first, we need to build reactor casing, which is a key component in any and all reactor parts. Now this requires us to get some uranium, which isn't too hard to find, and it kind of looks like piss ore, so now we're building a reactor that runs off piss. We're also going to need a fuel rod, so I crafted that quickly. The rest of the parts require a generous amount of materials, so I gathered copious amounts of iron, that way we wouldn't have any issues making any necessary part. Now with the iron ore tripled, we put it into our crafting station and make 4 stacks of reactor casing. Next, we assemble the reactor power tap, terminal, control rod, and access ports. Now let's quickly assemble the reactor. With that out of the way, our power grid will be more stable, but I have to fuel it first, which means I'm going to have to take the lazy way and just use a hopper and a chest. Yeah, it's not pretty, but it gets the job done, and speaking of not pretty, let's cover up this area for now. And boom, now our power grid is more stable than ever. That leads us to the end of the video. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you did, as again, it really helps push my video in the algorithm. I'll be live on Twitch later today at 5 PM EST. We'll be playing some Beat Saber and doing viewer requests, so make sure to leave a follow so you can catch me live. By the way, I'm live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so if you can't catch today's stream, you might be able to catch one of the other days. And one final thing on this. I'm doing a 24-hour live stream this Saturday where I'll be playing through all of Half-Life Alyx and might do a small VR chat get-together as a birthday thing and a reward for hitting 300 followers. I'm also on Twitter at sourceisshawnfx, and I have a Discord which can be found in the description. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified when a new video goes live, as I'm working on these weekly now. Oh, and before I forget, next week will hopefully be Mechanism Part 2 along with another mod I had in mind. But as always, I will see all you guys next time.